Welcome to ERi-TV English News Broadcast. Dear viewers, reporting live from the headquarters in Asmara is Miber Sabatagle. Following are the major headlines for today. Senior Eritrean delegation is on working visit to Kenya. Call made to strengthen participation to curb the death of mothers and infants. Israel signs $400 million deal to sell anti-tank missiles to Greece. And China ends its military drill near the island of Taiwan. On your local reports, senior Eritrean delegation composed of Mr. Usman Saleh, Minister of Foreign Affairs, and Presidential Advisor Mr. Yamana Gabrab was received by President William Ruto at the State House in Nairobi. The delegation delivered a message from President Isaias Afwerki to President William Ruto, focusing on bilateral relations and regional developments. President William Ruto briefed the Eritrean delegation on the recent developments in the Horn of Africa and East Africa, as well as on his consultations with regional leaders regarding the Intergovernmental Authority on Development, or IGAD, and broader regional cooperation. Expressing Kenya's keen interest in bolstering bilateral relations with Eritrea, President Ruto gave guidance for an early meeting of the joint cooperation mechanism. The governor of Gashbarka region, Ambassador Mahmoud Ali Hurri, called for integrated effort alongside the Ministry of Health and partners to curb death of mothers and children due to delivery. Ambassador Mahmoud made the call at a meeting organized on 4 and 5 April in Barintu to design measurable community-based health service provision with a view to ensure the health of mothers and children. Mr. Franco Kubaba, General Director of Social Services, on his part, called for coordinated response until the death of mothers and children due to delivery is fully put under control. At the meeting, Mr. Mohammed Saeed Nuruddin, Head of Family and Community Health, and Mr. Sultan Hagos, Head of Promotion and Information, presented reports focusing on effort carried out to ensure health of mothers and children, and called on partners, administrations, and especially the community to strengthen participation in the effort. The participants, on their part, conducted extensive discussion on the reports presented and expressed readiness to reinforce participation in the effort, indicating that the ideas raised at the meeting will have significant contribution in the effort to ensure the health of mothers and children. Dr. Hailom Kidane, Director General of the Ministry of Health in the region, called for strong cooperation of all stakeholders. On your last local news, residents of 14 subzones in the central region extended about 10.3 million nafa towards developmental activities in the region. According to the Central Region Administration, the contribution was made from 18 October 2022 to 4 April 2023. The regional administration, commending for the initiative the residents of the 14 subzones of the region took, called for its sustainability. In the course of their contribution, the residents expressed readiness to continue their contribution. And now we'll be back with the international reports. Do stay with us. Welcome back. Israel has signed a $400 million deal to sell Spike anti-tank missiles to Greece, its defense ministry announced yesterday. According to the CEO of state-owned defense contractor Rafael, which produced the anti-tank missiles, the Spike missiles would strengthen Greece's army's portfolio of operational tools, and it is expected to further expansion through strategic collaborations in the near future. The announcement comes on the heels of a defense deal with newly inducted NATO member Finland. Finland. Last week, Finland agreed to a deal with Israel and Rafael after it became a NATO member on 4 April, ending nearly 70 years of military non-alignment. The weapons contractor is to provide the new NATO member with the advanced air defense system David's Sling through a $345 million deal that still hinges on U.S. approval. The Sling is designed to intercept ballistic and cruise missiles. Israel has said its deal with both countries will boost ties between them, particularly when it comes to defense collaborations. The country has emerged as one of the top defense exporters in the world. Proceeding with your news, China has warned that peace and stability in the Taiwan Strait are mutually exclusive, as it has concluded 3 days of live-fire drills near the island in response to Taiwan's leader's recent trip to the United States. The war games simulated strikes, and dozens of planes had practiced an aerial blockade. The exercise comprehensively tested the integrated joint combatability of multiple military branches under the actual combat conditions. On your final report, more than 200 Russian and Ukrainian soldiers have returned home in a prisoner swap, the warring countries have said. Yesterday, Russia's defense ministry said that 106 Russian soldiers were released from Ukrainian custody as part of an agreement with Ukraine. Andriy Yermak, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky's chief of staff, said that Russia freed 100 Ukrainian prisoners. Neither announcements mentioned whether any intermediaries were involved in the agreement. Some of the Ukrainian soldiers have severe injuries and illnesses, Yermak said in a statement published on Telegram. Ukraine's coordination headquarters for the treatment of prisoners of war alleged that almost half of the 80 men and 20 women soldiers who returned home have serious injuries, illnesses, or have been tortured, but it presented no evidence for its claim. The freed Russian prisoners were being flown on military transport planes to Moscow for medical treatment and rehabilitation, the defense ministry said. Such exchanges represent one of the few areas of cooperation between Ukraine and Russia. The two sides have returned hundreds of each other's soldiers as well as bodies of fallen troops since the beginning of the war. You're still with us on ERi-TV, dear viewers. Now let's have a recap of the major headlines. Senior Eritrean delegation is on working visit to Kenya. Call made to strengthen participation to curb death of mothers and infants. Israel signs $400 million deal to sell anti-tank missiles to Greece. And China ends its military drill near the island of Taiwan. Dear viewers, that was it for today. Thanks for watching.